Yo, it's boy Marcus from City back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Warzone Mobile and just some of the things I got to address with this game. From things I said in the beginning of the game's life cycle, what I thought about the game, how I thought it could change, what would be good for it, and stuff like that. So things I said in my retrospective for the 1 year retrospective of the release of Warzone Mobile, to things that have just sort of circulated around recently. So, this game is just not in a good place. Like it's bad, right? And I've thought, when it came out, I was like, man, give it a chance. I know your phone's on fire, my phone's on fire, everything's on fire. Just give the game a chance to sort of grow into itself and then see what happens. And here we are a year later, and let's be honest, there's a short leash for this now. You know what I mean? COD Mobile a year later was phenomenal, right? Outside of a couple of super pay to win guns, which, like the HBR and stuff like that, it was pretty phenomenal. Now, this game a year later, it's not good. They've been just jamming stuff into this game constantly in terms of content and things, and it hasn't been the best idea, right? Like, they released this game with Modern Warfare 2 guns and Modern Warfare 2 movement. Then they turn right around and put in Modern Warfare 3 guns like 3 or 4 months later. And then BO6 releases, I guess, and then they put in BO6 guns right after that, right? So that's a ton of fucking guns in this game, like super fast, right? COD Mobile released, with like 50 guns, and they've just been adding a new gun every season since the game came out. You know what I mean? And that's just how it's been. This game's also added an Omni movement, which is absurd for your phone. You know what I mean? You'll see me in this video. I totally forgot that this existed in this game. I haven't played it in so long. And that it's terrible. I hate it. I hate it on a mobile device. It's great on console and stuff like that. It's fine there. But on a mobile device, Omni movement sucks. And that's why I say, like, this game isn't made for people on a mobile device. Like, this isn't a mobile game. Like, this is made for a console and put onto a mobile device. Or at bare minimum, made for a controller. You know what I mean? Like, a controller player on a mobile device is fine. If you're not on a controller, like you are, this game is just not fun. And that sucks. You know what I mean? COD Mobile, not on a controller, is still fun. You know what I mean? You can still have fun playing COD Mobile not on a controller. Here, you're just shooting bots most of the game. Right? Like, I think most of my kills, there might be a couple, 2 of them, are bots. And that's part of this game's just downfall, is that people didn't enjoy it. So now they had to input bots into the game. Because I remember when this game came out, it wasn't like that. Their bots weren't all over the place. You know what I mean? I felt like I was running into a quality amount of real people. And that was what was making the game fun. And I was enjoying BR because of that. Now, it sort of feels like this game is just like another BR game. You know what I mean? That's all it is. There's bots everywhere. You're just kind of running around, looting, waiting till you actually get into a real gunfight. And then you finally get into a real gunfight and you forgot what that's like to be shot back at because you've been in gunfights with freaking bots all day. So yeah, that sucks. This, on top of that, man, the actual gameplay experience on a mobile device, I don't have the best device ever. I think I have like an iPhone 13 right now. Like, you could see that iPhone notification or headphone notification pops up every, I don't know, we'll just say like 35 seconds. It'll pop up and it lags my game out, right? So it's not that bad in COD Mobile. It's a lot worse in Warzone Mobile when it pops up. And then it's just like I'm shooting somebody and my shots are all over the place. It's like, what is going on? This guy in this helicopter pretends to grief me for like the next 5 minutes. So enjoy. I just, it's terrible to play. The fact that this was marketed as like the next mobile game is why this sucks so much. Like, this is not mobile, bro. This is controller on your mobile phone. You know what I mean? People who are on a mobile phone are going to have a hard time playing this. You know what I mean? And these games are long, man. So this is a mobile royale game. This was a 16-minute game. It says 10 in like the thing. This is 16 minutes long. The zones are so slow. They gotta move, bro. The zones gotta move. So it sucks. It kind of sucks to deal with that stuff. And so I feel like that kind of hurt this game. Now, people are probably wondering, like, some of the things I said in the beginning of this game's life cycle mostly revolved around just giving the game a chance. Let them see if they could fix it, errors that could be made, and they could still fix stuff. I mean, they could do that. I think they have something else planned, hopefully, and I'll probably talk about that in a later video, just of something they leaked on Twitter. But this game, it's time for it to go. I think they just need to get rid of literally everything but one multiplayer mosh pit mode where you can just play all the multiplayer modes together with all the maps, right? Leave that in the game, and then leave in Verdansk and whatever the other map is, leave those there. That's it. We're done. All right, just leave a solo and a quads queue for Rebirth Island, and then a solo and a quads queue for Verdansk, and then a just mosh pit mode for multiplayer, and call it a day. We don't need a mobile royale. We don't need any of this other crap. Just those three things, right? Simplify it, and then work on actually making the game look and play well for somebody who's playing with thumbs on a mobile phone. You know why? Because that's most of the player base. Most of the casual players play with thumbs on an iPhone, and they hop on every once in a while, and that's it. That's who they're trying to cater the game to. But they didn't really do that with this game. This game caters towards a controller player on an iPad. You know what I mean? It sucks. Because that's like, I don't know, 8% of the player base? Maybe? So it just, I don't know what they were thinking, what they were doing. It was an overall terrible launch. And I think people, I finally come around like, this is it. They've given up on it, so now I can kind of give up on it too. And what they do from here, I don't know. They've pretty much said that the store will be open because they still need to make money off of this game. Obviously, the store is never going to not be open. It's always going to be fixed and working fine and able to be used for people, because if it's not, then they can't make money. So that'll be up. That's really all they care about. So I wouldn't spend a penny on this game from this point going on forward if I were you. There's just, even if you play this game every day and you've got your Interstellar and Orion and Dark Matter and all that good stuff, I still wouldn't touch this game in terms of a money aspect, because they could at some point in time shut down the servers, and then everything you spend on here would be gone. You know what I mean? And it just wouldn't have any worth or meaning at that point. It would just be gone. So I don't know. That being said, let me know what you guys think about some of that stuff. We're going to kind of dive into, so my retrospective video, I kind of covered a bunch of things about this game that were actually leaked, right? They were leaking like a whole nother big BR map, Al Mazrah, and then like smaller BR maps with Ashika Island, and like just all these things they had planned, and then like none of it really ever happened. Because they couldn't even get this map right. You know what I mean? Like the amount of detail it takes to get this map right, and like to get the game to flow well and stuff like that, is an absolute ton. And that's not built over, a night. That takes time. Also in my retrospective video, which if you haven't seen yet, go check it out. It was a just all-encompassing 1-year analysis of everything that's happened with Warzone Mobile. I kind of talked about like the amount of bugs and things that have existed in this game that just never got fixed. You know what I mean? It's almost like nobody was working on this game from its, I don't know, from like the halfway point of its life cycle. From like now until the beginning, like just whatever the midway point is, probably sometime in November of last year. It just hasn't worked out. Nobody's really put in the effort to fix errors, like people being grayed out. You know what I mean? I literally lose this game because the guy was grayed out, and I couldn't tell that it was an enemy until I was already being shot back at. And by then, I was like, man, what do you want me to do then? Like, he's shooting at me, and he's a literal gray dude. Like, it's not an actual person. How was I supposed to tell that was an enemy? You know what I mean? I'm lagging so bad, I can't tell that people are people when they're people. So it's just... I don't know, man. I feel like there's so much that I could talk about with how bad this game has performed over the last, I don't know how long, that it just doesn't even make sense to discuss it. It's terrible. Overall, I kind of want to discuss like what's new. You know what I mean? What's going to happen with this game? What do I expect to change it and overall be like the next step for this game? And what I kind of came up with was it's going to enter like an end of rules of survival type cycle. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to be played by people who actually enjoy it. They're probably going to start running into a lot of the same people in lobbies if they weren't already. And it's going to become like just a dead space. Like nobody's really there, nobody's playing it, nobody's enjoying it, and it's not making money. And then eventually the servers will be gone and the game will just be dead. You know what I mean? And that's why people did say it was dead on arrival, simply because like how poorly optimized it is and a lot of problems that had arisen with this game. Not to mention the hype. I mean, this game had a lot of hype behind it, unlike a lot of other titles. So it's interesting to see what's going to change with it. Towards the end of this video, we're going to kind of see what the potential for what they got up next is. So obviously the development studio is kind of like, taking their hands away from this, and it's probably because they're going to get tasked out to make something new. What are they going to make? I think they're going to make a full standalone zombies title for mobile devices, essentially copying Black Ops 3 or maybe Black Ops 2 or some other console COD, because this is probably the best way for them to make more money. By doing that, they can just, figure out a way to monetize it, just like they did back in those games, and then use that to make a crap ton more money. So there's a bunch of opportunities with something like that, and I think that's probably where they're going to take this moving forward. So that's probably where these studios are going to be directed towards in terms of like what their actual main motive is going to be. It's going to be some other standalone title meant to probably run alongside COD Mobile, because COD Mobile Zombies is obviously a weak point, whereas like the strong point is MP and BR. You know what I mean? People love those two modes. So once they get into a point where they could probably get away from Warzone Mobile enough, once it's in like a stable enough state to where it's like, hey, people who want to play it at this point can play it, we're kind of going to let it die. Now we'll switch over to like, hey, this is what we want to actually do, and we can actually make this game better and work on this game to the point to where it's the next big game for a mobile device. I think COD is one of the hardest games to really compete with, because everybody loves Call of Duty, and it's always been just like a foundational piece of gaming. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes for COD overall. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Thank you guys for watching and watching me choke this 1v1 in heinous, horrific fashion, because I don't know, I haven't played this game in who knows how long, and I'm rusty. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. It's been your boy Marcus from West Indiana. I'm out. Peace.